Hey there, it's Liza Lawrence again with another mini message for our Miracle Monday. And today, as I was reflecting on Anna's podcast from last week, she shared a couple miracles. One that was really big and supernatural, a huge life saving miracle, and the other was a simple prompting. And it got me thinking about miracles and what constitutes a miracle. Of course, this is not the first time I've thought about miracles. I've created a whole podcast about this, but I wanted to share my thoughts today about it anyway. And what is a miracle anyway? So I looked up a couple definitions of miracle from a variety of sources, and I know there's probably research on what a miracle is, but I'm just going to go off what I have kind of on my own little research. So, according to the Oxford Dictionary online, the definition of a miracle is a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. According to the Webster Dictionary online, it says a miracle is an unusual or wonderful event that is believed to be caused by the power of God. A book called A Course in Miracles has lots of definitions of miracles, but one of them is miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. Everything that comes from love is a miracle. And then another portion of A Course in Miracles says, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are miracles. I love that definition too, because it makes us think, well, sometimes we say, oh, these big things, yes, that's a miracle. God totally intervened. But is that small thing a miracle? I think it is because it's an expression of divine love. The Bible dictionary says literally a wonder or wonderful thing. That's the word miracle, what it means broken down. The Bible dictionary also has this from the King James Version. It says an extraordinary event caused by the power of God. Miracles are an important element in the work of Jesus Christ. Miracles are part of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we know from the Bible and Jesus's life and his teachings that the essence of his ministry and teaching was love, loving one another and offering love and receiving God's love. That was a huge part of his teachings. So to me, a miracle is an expression or an exchange of divine love in our lives. So something as simple as following a small prompting or serving someone or praying for another person could be considered a miracle if that offering is done with divine love, or if you've received a gift, a prayer, a help from others, and you receive God's divine love, that can also be a miracle. Or a grand physical healing, just like Jesus performed, because all of those, no matter how big or how small, are expressions of love. So what's the purpose of a miracle? I believe that the purpose is to invite us to participate in the exchange of divine love, both giving and receiving love. In the King James Version of the Bible, under miracles in the Bible dictionary, it says, and I'm going to read this here, it says, miracles were intended to be a proof to the Jews that Jesus was the Christ. Many of them were also parabolic and instructive, teaching by means of symbols, such as divine truths as the result of sin and the cure of sin, the value of faith, the curse of impurity, and the law of love. So that's what miracles were teaching, his miracles. The miracles of healing also show how the law of love is to deal with the actual facts of life. So once again, it's all about love and that divine love. So I think it's interesting. Sometimes our most sacred and important miracles will only be known to you. You will be the only one that recognizes it as a miraculous occurrence. because you were so deeply touched and changed by divine love. It could be a moment of forgiveness. It could be a new shift in perspective on how you see a difficult situation. It could be a quiet insight or inspiration that you receive. It could be an answer to a prayer of your heart. No one sees those things. Only you recognize those. We tend to recognize the big, grand things. And I think those are beautiful and amazing. But some of the most profound miracles are the ones that you only notice and that you can't quite explain to another person. A Course in Miracles, another definition says it is a change in heart and a healing of your incorrect beliefs about you or another person, being shown God's divine love for you or someone else is a miracle. So for me, the most miraculous event and profound miracle, sometimes they even call it magical event because it was so much bigger than me, was something that no one was present for. It was a very personal moment to me. It wasn't an event that I could really explain to another person. And I will try to explain pieces of it, but it won't impact you the way it impacted me. It was a moment that happened after years, well, really a lifetime of built up pain that I was trying to heal from and trying to forgive and let go and repent of, and praying desperately, although I'd prayed for years for this type of healing. And in a moment, through prayer, I received the grace of God, and it literally flowed into my being. And I don't know if I shifted in my receptivity, my ability to receive God's grace. The miracle of God's divine healing love entered in, and I felt it so deeply that it truly dissolved years of heartache and pain. It was truly miraculous to me, and it affected my life in incredible and beautiful ways. There was nothing physically tangible that occurred, no physical healing, no divine voice, no earthly proof of the miracle, except there was no denying that I had been touched by God's divine grace and love. There was an energy that surrounded me, a light, a feeling that changed my heart. And it was a miracle. It was my own personal miracle. And it was profound. And I was incredibly grateful for the peace that entered after years of pain. So my next question is there anything that we have to do on our part to receive a miracle, or in essence, receive God's love in our lives? Yes, there is. God is a God of miracles, and he wants miraculous things for us. You can see this in the life of Jesus as he so eagerly shared the miracles with those who received them, who could receive them. However, in Matthew chapter 13, Jesus tells us there really is something that matters in our receiving of miracles. He went back to his own country and he was teaching in the synagogues, and the people were like, wait, aren't you the carpenter's son? Like, they were offended in him. And Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. So belief is key, and in receiving miracles. I think also another key to miracles is asking. Ask and ye shall receive, praying for miracles. Jesus taught that a lot, that we should be praying constantly. I think if you listen carefully to most of the stories on the podcast, a component is prayer. A lot of them, even if it's not an audible prayer, it can be a heartfelt prayer, a desire of the heart. So A Course in Miracles says, prayer is the medium of miracles. It is the means of communication of the created, that's us, with the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. I love that. So does that mean that we will always get the miracle we desire in the way that we think it should happen? If we have enough faith and we've prayed and asked for our miracle? Not necessarily. But If you dig a little deeper and look a little closer, what miracles did you receive? If divine love is a miracle, was that present even if things didn't occur according to your vision of how it should be? Did you feel God's support, his peace, his comfort, his care? And I know sometimes that's difficult to recognize when you're in the middle of a painful experience and when you're in the middle of grief. If you did not get your miracle the way you think you should, but as time passes and as you continue to reflect, you might notice it from a different perspective. I just want to end with one of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein, which I find this quote fascinating because he was such a scientist. But he says, "There are only two ways to live your life: as though nothing is a miracle, or as though everything is a miracle." How do you choose to see life? I, for one, am trying to choose to see life as a miracle and celebrate those miraculous moments in our everyday lives because miracles abound. I hope you can see that this week. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.